Welcome back, and now we're going to take a look at section 2.3 in your notes, which is on page 19, and we're going to talk about what we call two-step equations, things that look like 3x plus 7 equals 22. Take a moment and get your notes open to page 19. So, to solve something like this is asking us the question, 3 times what number plus 7 equals 22. And unlike some of the one-step equations where we probably could just look at the problem and guess what the answer is going to be, this is a lot harder, just to look at it and know the answer. So we need to go through a process, very similar process to what we did to solve our one-step equations to solve something like this. To solve a two-step equation, basically what I need to do is use order of operations in reverse. I am going to use order of operations in reverse, which means usually. I'm going to write all the notes and then I'm going to pause the video so you can copy everything down. Usually, we're going to take care of undoing our addition and subtraction first. Usually, we are going to take care of undoing addition and subtraction first. Then, undo multiplication and division. So I'm going to have the video pause if you're watching this in Edpuzzle, and make sure you can get all that copied down. So for our first example, I'd like to look at 3x plus 7 equals 22. And I'm going to start this the way I started my one-step equations. I'm going to draw a line through that equal sign to separate my two sides. And according to my steps, I need to take care of undoing the addition or subtraction first. Well, to undo a plus 7, I'm going to go and subtract 7 from both sides. I'm going to say minus 7, minus 7. When I do that, the 7's canceled on the left side, leaving me just with 3x. And on the other side, 22 minus 7, you'll go to your calculator to do that if you need to, you're going to get 15. I think you know how to finish this. What do we need to do to finish this problem? We have a multiplication problem over here. If you need to put the little dot in there, we'll do that. But we're going to solve this by dividing both sides by 3. And we're going to get x equals 5. And that's our first two-step equation. 3x plus 7 equals 22. I got rid of the plus 7 by subtracting 7 from both sides. Then I was left with 3x equals 15. I divided both sides by 3 and got x equals 5. What I mean by order of operations in reverse, if you were plugging a number in where the x was, like 4, for example, 3 times 4 plus 7, you would first multiply and then add. Well, I need to do that in reverse. I need to take care of the addition and then take care of the multiplication. That's what I meant by order of operations in reverse. Let's try this one. 5x minus 9 equals 21. 5x minus 9 equals 21. What are we going to need to do first? I need to first get rid of that subtraction problem, so I'm going to do that by adding 9 to both sides. Plus 9, plus 9. And of course, just like the one-step equations, I need to see all of this algebra. I'm going to get 5x equals 30. Well, then what? We're going to divide both sides by 5, and we're going to finish off the problem and say x equals 6. And there's that equation. The next one, number 3, 64 equals 2a minus 10. 64 equals 2a minus 10. It doesn't matter that the 64 is on the left rather than on the right. We're going to do this the same way we dealt with our other equations. I want to get the a by itself. So what am I going to do first? I'm going to go and I'm going to add 10 to both sides. 64 plus 10 will give me 74. So 74 equals 2a. Then what? I'm going to go and divide by 2 and divide by 2. And when you're done, a is going to equal what? Go to the calculator and let's get an answer. A should end up equaling 37. I'm perfectly okay if you write it like this, 37 equals a. If you'd rather write the final answer as a equals 37, that's also okay. In number 4, m over negative 2 plus 5 equals negative 4. M over negative 2 plus 5 equals negative 4. I'm going to draw my line through the equal sign. What do I need to get rid of first? The negative 2 or the plus 5? Well, our rules said take care of undoing the addition subtraction before I undo multiplication and division. So I'm going to take care of getting rid of the 5 before I get rid of the negative 2. I'm going to go and subtract 5 from both sides. And I'm going to get m over negative 2 equals negative 9. What do I need to do next? You're going to get rid of the divide by negative 2 by multiplying both sides by negative 2. So m will end up equaling what? Negative 9 times negative 2 is going to give me a negative times a negative. It's a positive, so it's going to give me 18. M equals 18. By the way, if we want to check this, I can plug in 18 to the original problem. 18 divided by negative 2 is negative 9, plus 5, yeah, really does give me negative 4. And if it didn't give me that answer, then I know my number that I got over here was wrong. We have 4 more examples, and then you're going to try a bunch. I'm now on page 20 in the notes, so flip your notes to page 20. And let's take a look at the equation. Okay, this one's going to be a little different. Negative 14 equals negative 6 plus 2x. Take a moment and copy that down, and then you start thinking about what you're going to have to do first. I'm going to go draw my line over there. Am I going to get rid of the negative 6 first, or am I going to get rid of the 2 first? The 2 looks like it's part of a multiplication problem. The negative 6 is getting added to that. Which do I need to get rid of first? I'm going to go get rid of that negative 6. How do I undo a negative 6? By adding 6 to both sides. Because I know that negative 6 plus 6 will give me the 0 that I want over there. On the left side now, negative 14 plus 6 gives us what? Should give us negative 8 equals 2x, you go finish and tell me what x equals. Divide by 2, divide by 2. We're going to get negative 4 equals x, or you could switch things around and make it x equals negative 4. In problem 6, 1/4 x minus 2 equals negative 7. 1/4 x minus 2 equals negative 7. My first question for you is, how can I rewrite 1/4 x? Well, hopefully you remember from the last chapter, I can move that x up top so it's with the 1, and I can say x over 4 minus 2 equals negative 7. I'd like to see if you can take a moment and go solve that and then submit your answer to Edpuzzle. So I'm going to draw my line. I need to get rid of the minus 2, so I'm going to do plus 2 plus 2. That's going to give me x over 4 equals negative 7 plus 2 is negative 5. I'm going to get rid of the divide by 4 by multiplying both sides by 4. So times 4 times 4. And x will end up equaling negative 20. X equals negative 20. I have 2 more examples to show you. In number 7, I'd like to look at negative 6 equals 3/8 r. Negative 6 equals 3/8 r. Well, first of all, back in problem 6, 1/4 x, I moved the x basically to where the 1 was to get 1x over 4, which is really just x over 4. I'm going to start by doing something similar in number 7. I'm going to move the r so it's right next to the 3, and I'm going to turn this problem into negative 6 equals 3r over 8. Negative 6 equals 3r over 8. I then need to get rid of the 3, and I need to get rid of the 8. If I was thinking order of operations, if I went to plug in a number where the r is, I would first multiply it by 3 and then divide by 8. So I need to do that in reverse here to solve. I'm going to go and I'm going to multiply both sides by 8. I'm going to say times 8 times 8. 8 times negative 6 will give me negative 48 equals, and the whole point of this times 8 thing was it made the divide by 8 cancel. So I get negative 48 equals 3r. We'll finish off this problem by dividing both sides by 3. And r is going to equal, go to your calculator, let's get an answer. R is going to end up equaling negative 16. R equals negative 16. I have one more problem we're going to take a look at, and this is actually not going to be a 2-step equation. It's actually going to be a 3-step equation, but I think we can handle this. Please copy down 2/3 x minus 6 equals 8. And I'd like to see if you can do the first step of rewriting that 2/3 x, so it'll make it a little bit easier to solve. Hopefully, you stuck the x with the 2 and made it 2x over 3 minus 6 equals 8. Now, what should I deal with first? Getting rid of the 2, the 3, or the 6? I need to get rid of that minus 6. Another way to think about it is we sort of start by getting rid of the stuff that's furthest away from the x. Negative 6 is definitely further away from the x than the 2 or the 3. I'm going to go and add 6 to both sides. This is going to give me 2x over 3 equals, well, 8 plus 6 is 14, so equals 14. Then, what should I get rid of next, the 2 or the 3? I need to undo my divide by 3 before I undo my times 2. Again, if we think about it as what's further away from the x, 2 is right next to the x, while 3 is on the other side of the fraction. 3 is further away. I'm going to go and multiply both sides by 3. This is going to give me 2x equals, go to your calculator, let's get an answer for 14 times 3. 14 times 3 should give you 42, I believe. You go finish off this problem. I'm going to now undo that multiplication problem that I have. I'm going to divide both sides by 2, and x is going to equal 21. When you go to do these problems, make sure you are showing all the work that I showed over here. You guys were really good with this when we were doing our one-step equations. Now that the equations are harder, the work is even more important. Make sure everything that I'm showing is something that you're showing. You are going to now spend the rest of this period just doing some practice with these in one of those self-checking activities like we did before.